David Walliams was one of the funniest faces on British television. He was charming, successful, confident, and constantly smiling beside Simon Cowell on Britain's Got Talent. Millions of viewers saw him as the playful judge who could make contestants laugh one moment and cry the next. But behind the cameras, things were becoming far more complicated. And no, it was not just about leaving the show. In 2026, David Walliams' career looks very different from the peak years when he dominated television, publishing, and family entertainment across Britain. David Walliams is now surrounded by controversies, criticism, and growing questions about his behavior behind the scenes. Headlines are everywhere asking the same question. What really happened to David Walliams? You see, David Walliams was not originally famous because of talent shows. Long before Britain's Got Talent, he became one of Britain's biggest comedy stars through Little Britain, the sketch comedy series he created with Matt Lucas in the early 2000s. The show became massively successful. Catchphrases from Little Britain spread across the country. Millions watched every episode. David Walliams quickly became one of the most recognizable comedy figures in the United Kingdom. At the time, his career looked unstoppable. He appeared on television constantly, hosted programs, acted in films, and eventually became a best-selling children's author. His books sold millions of copies worldwide, turning him into one of Britain's biggest entertainment brands. Then in 2012, another major opportunity arrived. David Walliams officially joined Britain's Got Talent as a judge, replacing David Hasselhoff. At first, many viewers were unsure whether he would fit into the panel beside Simon Cowell, Amanda Holden, and Alesha Dixon. But almost immediately, he became one of the show's biggest attractions. David brought humor, emotional reactions, and unpredictability to the panel. He flirted jokingly with Simon Cowell, danced with contestants, interrupted auditions, and often created viral moments online. Viewers loved the chemistry between the judges. More importantly, David understood television. He knew exactly how to create moments people would talk about the next morning. And for years, it worked perfectly. Britain's Got Talent remained one of the biggest shows in the country, while David became one of the most talked about judges on television. But this is where things slowly started changing. Outside the show, criticism surrounding David Walliams' older comedy work began growing louder. As social attitudes changed during the late 2010s and early 2020s, many people started revisiting Little Britain and other older comedy programs differently. Some sketches that were once celebrated now faced criticism over race, disability, gender stereotypes, and offensive humor. Eventually, Little Britain was removed from some streaming platforms in 2020. For David, this marked an important turning point. The comedy style that once made him famous was now becoming controversial. Although some fans defended the show as comedy from a different era, others argued that certain jokes had crossed lines that would never be accepted today. David later admitted there were things he would not do again. But the criticism did not stop there. Over time, people also started discussing David's behavior behind the scenes on Britain's Got Talent. And this is the part many viewers never saw coming. In November 2022, major headlines exploded after leaked recordings from Britain's Got Talent auditions became public. According to reports published by The Guardian, David Walliams had made insulting and inappropriate comments about contestants during filming breaks in 2020. One contestant was reportedly mocked after leaving the stage, while another was described using offensive language. The backlash was immediate. For years, viewers had seen David as warm, emotional, and supportive on television. Suddenly, the public was hearing private comments that created a completely different image. The controversy spread quickly across British media. People began questioning whether the friendly television personality audiences watched every weekend was completely genuine. David later apologized publicly. He admitted the comments were disrespectful and said they were private conversations that should never have happened. But by that point, the damage had already been done. And honestly, this became one of the biggest moments that changed his public image forever. Soon after the controversy, reports confirmed that David Walliams would not return to Britain's Got Talent. Although the exact details behind his departure became heavily discussed online, Many viewers believe the leaked comments played a major role in his exit from the show. Bruno Tonioli later joined the judging panel. For the first time in years, Britain's Got Talent looked very different without David sitting beside Simon Cowell. And many fans noticed the change immediately. David had become such a major personality on the program that removing him created a completely different atmosphere. But this was not the only controversy surrounding him. Over the years, David's friendships and personal relationships also became subjects of public discussion. One of the biggest rumors involved his friendship with presenter Laura Whitmore and her husband Ian Sterling. Although there was never any confirmed scandal involving David and Laura herself, tabloids and online gossip pages repeatedly speculated about awkward tensions and rumors connected to celebrity friendships and public interactions. Like many famous television personalities, David constantly found himself surrounded by media speculation, whether true or exaggerated. At the same time, some former colleagues and entertainment insiders also described him as very different behind the scenes compared to his public image. Some people saw him as highly professional and generous. Others described him as difficult, unpredictable, or overly concerned with controlling his image. That contrast became more noticeable after the leaked BGT recordings. Suddenly, older interviews, clips, and stories started being viewed differently by audiences. And this is where things became even more complicated. David Walliams was not just another television judge. By the early 2020s, he had built a massive empire around his image. His children's books became global bestsellers. Schools invited him to reading events. Families bought his novels in huge numbers during holidays. Publishers promoted him almost like the next Roald Dahl. That made the controversy surrounding him even more damaging, because his audience included millions of children and parents. Critics questioned whether someone facing accusations of offensive behavior should continue holding such a major place in children's entertainment. Still, David continued working. Even after leaving Britain's Got Talent, he remained active in publishing, television appearances, comedy work, and entertainment projects. But the public conversation around him had clearly changed. Before, most headlines focused on his jokes, books, and television moments. Now, many headlines focused on controversies instead. And that shift matters. For celebrities, image is everything. Once public trust starts changing, careers can become very difficult to control. David also faced criticism from people who believed some of his humor relied too heavily on embarrassing others or creating uncomfortable moments. As of 2026, David Walliams is facing one of the most difficult periods of his career. One of the biggest blows came from the publishing world. HarperCollins, the company behind many of his hugely successful children's books, ended its long-running relationship with him following reports of alleged inappropriate behavior toward junior female staff members. Soon after, his book sales reportedly dropped sharply, and he was also removed from the 2026 Waterstones Children's Book Festival in Dundee, a major sign that parts of the industry were distancing themselves from him. The television world also changed quickly around him. In 2022, Walliams officially left Britain's Got Talent after leaked audio recordings revealed him making insulting off-camera comments about contestants during auditions. The backlash was immediate, and although he publicly apologized, the controversy permanently changed how many viewers saw him. Following his 2022 departure from Britain's Got Talent, BBC has reportedly stated that there are currently no future projects involving him directly, adding to growing questions about his long-term future in mainstream television. And this is where things became even more serious. The fallout did not stop with television or publishing. Walliams' live theater tour was quietly canceled after poor ticket sales, with remaining dates being removed as industry support around him weakened. For someone who once seemed untouchable in British entertainment, the sudden decline shocked many fans. Still, not everything connected to David Walliams has disappeared. Some projects based on his work are still moving forward, including stage adaptations like There's a Snake in My School and the fantasy film adaptation of Fing. Even with the controversy surrounding him, his books and earlier success continue holding value within entertainment.